Have you found the lost cities? I don't know if you have, but I can show you what I found. Well, inside the box, there's just basically these three things. You have a board, you've got a deck of cards, and of course you got a manual. Let me show you a little bit more about this. Okay, so I've opened up the board, which you'll be playing, put between you and your opponent, and it has the different colors on it that represents the expeditions. You have red, green, white, blue, and yellow. And you have the cards that have matching corresponding colors to that, and they're incremental from 2 through 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in each one, and they have pretty nice artwork on them, actually. And what I have done is I've taken one and just kind of put them all in order here so you can see. You also have 3 wager cards, which can be placed at the beginning of, before you go on each expedition. So like, look at the pictures here. That's kind of nice where they show you like you're getting a little further down the trail of making it to your goal, which was a nice little touch in the game. I mean, it's really not thematic at all. It's just basically like a numbers and colors kind of game. The basic game is that you deal each player 8 cards, and with the 8 cards that you get, you start playing out. Basically, you will place a card, and then you will draw a card. By placing a card on your turn, you will play a card in the right expedition matching the color. Like I put that blue 4 there, and if I was going to play a 6 here, what you want to do is you want to play lowest numbers first, because once a card goes in the expedition, it can't come back up. It's set in stone. So you want to make sure you play the lower cards first, because you have to score points. And so what happens is you go back and forth by playing cards, doing each turn. So like I'll play a card, and then I have to draw a card after I play it. So, but also during the play, if you can't play or don't want to play a card here, then you would place one of your cards in the appropriate pile. Like I've just placed the red 2 up here, but that doesn't have to be in any type of low order. It can be any red card you wanted to get rid of, or let's say if you wanted to get rid of, I don't know, like I just want to get rid of this wager card, so I'm going to put it over here. It's a yellow one, whichever, but you can only do one thing. So you either play a card here, or you discard a card by playing it up here. And that doesn't matter what order you put those in. It may, make sense because your opponent may have the opportunity to pick it up. So anyway, after you place a card, then you draw a card. Now you have 2 choices. You can either draw a card from the draw deck, or you can draw a card from the discard pile. But by drawing a card from the discard pile, you cannot draw the card you have just laid down this turn. So if I had discarded that, I can't do that just to bring it back into my hand to keep the hand the same. So you have to make that choice. Now you'll go back and forth playing cards, making your things a little bit longer, your expeditions longer. So like here's a 5 and a 9, and let's see if we can get a couple better cards in there. Oh yeah, here's white. Let's say I had a 5, 6, 7, 8 here, and something over here. And let's say I was lucky and I maybe had an expedition. Yeah, let's say I had an expedition here. Let's say my turn ended with a setup like this. Sorry, I'm just smacking the camera around today. So I decided to do 3 expeditions. Now you have to pay an expedition cost when you total. So you're going to add up the line of each points, and then you have to subtract 20 points from it. And even if it's a 0 or negative, that's a part of your score. Those are just cards up on the board. So like, let's say someone draws the last card, and so we go to scoring. Well, this is 14. So 14 minus 20 is 6. So that's minus 6 points there. I only had, excuse me, you can't play them that way. So I have a 5 and a 6. So that's 11. So I'm minus 9 there. So man, I'm really in the hole, right? Well, but this one's not so bad because I have a wager card in the front of it. But I've got a 5, 6 for 11 and a 7, 8 for 15. So that's 26 points. And so 26 times your wager cards. So there's 3 wager cards. If you have 1 wager card there, you would have times 2. If I had 2 wager cards there, the total will be times 3. And if I had all 3 wager cards there, which I'm about to place there, and you happen to get this points, so then you would say, oh, okay, I've got 26 points. Then you minus 20 for the expedition cost, which makes it 6. And then 6 times the 3 wager cards, which is 4, times 2 times 3 times 4, times 4 is 24. But also, don't forget, you have to add in your minuses from the other ones, or pluses, how you do them. But you add up each row, and then figure out the totals of each row, and then add up your whole score across the board. And you might even have a negative number, but you can come back the next turn. I've seen it happen many times. So you play 3 rounds basically, and you just go back and forth, and that's how it's played. Lost Cities. So there you have it, Lost Cities, a pretty easy to learn and fun, quick game to play. The one thing that I forgot to mention that I wanted to mention was that the game actually ends when the last card is drawn. So I didn't specify that into the game. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. My name is Eric Tarver. Thank you always, as always, for watching the Dice Matrix. Keep the dice rolling, guys.